Hi there. Today I'm going to talk about a few of the symbols of Freemasonry. For example, we have the square and compass, Masonic blazing star, 47th problem of Euclid, Masonic eye, Masonic letter G, and trestle board. The square and compasses, or, more correctly, a square and a set of compasses joined together, is the single most identifiable symbol of Freemasonry. Both the square and compasses are architects' tools, and are used in Masonic ritual as emblems to teach symbolic lessons. Some lodges and rituals explain these symbols as lessons in conduct. For example, that Masons should square their actions by the square of virtue, and learn to circumscribe their desires, and keep their passions within due bounds toward all mankind. However, as Freemasonry is non-dogmatic, there is no general interpretation for these symbols or any Masonic symbol that is used by Freemasonry as a whole. As measuring instruments, the tools represent judgment and discernment. With a G in English-speaking jurisdictions, the square and compasses are often depicted with the letter G in the center. The letter is interpreted to represent different words jurisdiction to jurisdiction. Among the most widely accepted interpretations are that G stands for God, and is to remind Masons that God is at the center of Freemasonry. In this context, it can also stand for Great Architect of the Universe, a reference to God. In a different context, the letter stands for geometry, described as being the noblest of the sciences, and the superstructure upon which Freemasonry is founded. The Masonic blazing star is representative of the star which guided the wise men to Bethlehem. It's used in Masonic lodges, and represents God, the sun and beauty, and it symbolizes Moses receiving the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai. 47th problem of Euclid is slightly more complicated. It's represented by 3 squares, and is also called the 47th proposition of Euclid, or the Pythagorean theorem. To fully understand this, you really need to do further research. But, in a nutshell, it signifies 3, 5, and 7. These are the steps in Masonry, as in the winding stair which leads to the middle chamber, and they are the number of brethren which form the number of Master Masons necessary to open a lodge, with Master Mason at 3, Fellow Craft at 5 and Entered Apprentice at 7. The Masonic eye symbolizes that the divine is ever present and all-seeing in the universe. It isn't solely a Freemasonry symbol, and has also been referred to as the Eye of Providence or the all-seeing Eye of God. Today, the Eye of Providence is usually associated with Freemasonry. The eye first appeared as part of the standard iconography of the Freemasons in 1797, with the publication of Thomas Smith Webb's Freemason's Monitor. It represents the all-seeing eye of God, and is a reminder that a Mason's thoughts and deeds are always observed by God, who is referred to in Masonry as the Great Architect of the Universe. Typically, the Masonic Eye of Providence has a semicircular glory below the eye. Sometimes the eye is enclosed by a triangle. Popular among conspiracy theorists is the claim that the Eye of Providence, shown atop an unfinished pyramid on the Great Seal of the United States, indicates the influence of Freemasonry in the founding of the United States. This was dramatized in the 2004 Disney film National Treasure. However, common Masonic use of the eye dates to 14 years after the creation of the Great Seal. Furthermore, among the members of the various design committees for the Great Seal, only Benjamin Franklin was a Mason, and his ideas for the seal were not adopted. Indeed, many Masonic organizations have explicitly denied any connection to the creation of the seal. Another symbol is the Masonic letter G. The Masonic letter G reminds us that our every act is done in the sight of the Great Architect of the Universe. Lastly, the trestle board is a board upon which designs, or blueprints, are placed. A Masonic trestle board is a design board for the master workman architect to draw his plans and designs upon, to give the workman an outline of the work to be performed. In today's terms, we might call it a blueprint. In conclusion, there are many symbols in Freemasonry. What has been presented here are just a few. Many relate to the great architect of the universe, and being a positive influence in this world. I would like to thank you for your time in watching this video, and hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Goodbye for now.